Well, COVID cases across the inner west suburb of Burwood have remained very low during Sydney's outbreak. 0 cases detected in the suburb yesterday. However, despite the low infection, Burwood is one of the 12 LGAs under the harshest lockdown restrictions seen across the state. Joining us live now is the Mayor of Burwood, John Faker. John, I know you're pretty frustrated about this. Have you had any indication that your frustration may be alleviated anytime soon?
Well, we've had no communication, Laura, with the government. We still haven't even had an official communication that we're a hotspot area. So it is frustrating. The communication's been quite poor, but we're continuing with our work to ensure that we get the message out to our residents to lift our vaccination rates. And that's why I've been begging on the state government to provide us with a walk-in vaccination hub so we can lift those vaccination rates.
Yeah, so what's your read of the situation then, that people, because there's a lot of vaccines available now, AstraZeneca and also Pfizer is available to most of the population. Are people having to travel too far to get these vaccines? Is that the problem?
Well, that's exactly the problem, Laura. One of the things that the government has been trying to tell people is to restrict their mobility. And it's quite hard then to tell people go to a central location, a mass vaccination hub and get vaccinated. We've been calling the key component of my council's plan, other than information and communication, has been to call on the government to provide us with a permanent vaccination hub in Burwood, because we believe in prevention rather than reacting to the epidemic. So if we have a walk-in vaccination hub here, we're taking the vaccine to the people. And I have many residents. Many of my residents are actually emailing, calling, telling us how can we get vaccinated in an easy and quick manner.
Look, the state seems to be responding. We've hit that 6 million vaccine target. That was about a week early, I would say. The Premier Gladys Berejiklian is talking about giving some vaccinated people some freedoms. There's talk of hairdressers and nail salons. Would you welcome that?
Oh, absolutely, we would welcome that. My residents are frustrated now, as am I, because there's no reason why we should be a hotspot area with, I think it was about 30 cases in the last month. I think we've had about just on 10 over the last week. If you compare that with an adjoining council like Inner West, which has had nearly 150 cases, I think 40 last week alone. Canada Bay's had close to 60 cases, I believe. There's no reason, it doesn't make any sense. And to this date, we still have not received any communication from the government, from the Premier or the Health Minister, as to why we have been designated a hotspot area. The issue, Laura, is that it replaces a lot more restrictions on our residents, especially for a community that is hardworking. And we've got many of our residents who are business owners. We've got many people now that have to obtain a permit system or go into a permit system to actually leave to go to work. So it's unfair. Yesterday I had an email from a lady that was 37 weeks pregnant, who is now afraid and concerned because she doesn't know how she can attend hospital. And her husband can't attend with her because she comes from a hotspot area.
Yeah, it is heartbreaking for expectant mums at the moment, that's for sure. Before I let you go, you know, we're talking about this national plan that not all the premiers seem to be signed up to at the moment when we reach that 80% full vaccination rate right against across the country. You know, there seems to already be privileges for the vaccinated. How do you and how does your community feel about that? Do you see that essentially we'll have a vaccine passport?
Well, I think that's where people consider, that's where we're leading and where governments are leading. Our community really at this stage, and myself and our council, aren't concerned with the politics of this epidemic. We really want the Prime Minister and the Premiers to just show the Australian people and my community a plan. People want to get back to work. People are losing incomes. Our businesses are hitting the wall and could possibly go bankrupt. People are suffering real mental health issues, Laura. people just want to get back to normal. So what we need to do is just stay focused on message. We need to provide vaccination centres in locations such as the hotspot areas to lift those vaccination rates, because as I mentioned, that's the key component of my council's plan. So we can get our businesses open, we can get our residents back to work, we can start to have people living a normal life again. So people just want their governments and their community leaders to step up and show them and have a plan, because this state government's lost a plan, and really it seems to as if it's given up hope, which has left a leadership vacuum at the moment. So it's important for the community to step up.
Yep, well, we'll see those numbers today, and hopefully all the Labor premiers can sign up to the national plan as well. Mayor John Faker, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Laura. Thanks for having me.
Stay with us on